Have you ever felt the thrill of opening a new book? That feeling of anticipation, of wondering what adventures await? That's the magic of a great story introduction. It's like stepping through a doorway into another world, a world full of possibilities. A captivating introduction is crucial. It sets the stage for the entire story. It introduces us to the characters and the world they inhabit. It's the author's chance to make a first impression. And trust me, first impressions matter. Think about it. You're more likely to watch a movie trailer that grabs your attention, right? The same goes for books. A strong opening hooks the reader, making them eager to delve deeper into the narrative. So, how do authors create these captivating introductions? Let's explore the secrets behind crafting a beginning that leaves readers spellbound. One of the primary functions of a story introduction is to establish the setting. This is where the magic begins, where the foundation of the narrative is laid out for the reader. Where does the story take place? Is it a bustling city, a quiet village, or an entirely different realm? Is it a world familiar to our own, or something entirely fantastical? The setting can be a mirror of our reality, or a doorway to the unknown. The author uses vivid descriptions to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Through carefully chosen words, they create a world that feels tangible and alive. Take, for instance, the world of Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling's attention to detail brings both the ordinary and the magical to life. Rowling masterfully introduces us to the mundane world of Privet Drive before whisking us away to the magical realm of Hogwarts. This transition is seamless, yet striking. This stark contrast immediately grabs our attention and sets the stage for a story filled with wonder and enchantment. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. Similarly, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit transports us to the Shire, a land inhabited by hobbits. His world building is intricate and immersive. Tolkien's meticulous descriptions of hobbit holes, gardens, and the surrounding countryside create a sense of cozy familiarity. The Shire feels like a place we could visit. This makes it all the more impactful when Bilbo embarks on his adventure beyond the Shire's borders. The journey feels personal and significant. The setting is not just a backdrop, it's a living, breathing part of the story that interacts with the characters. It's an integral part of the story. The environment shapes the narrative, influencing the plot and the characters' decisions. It shapes the characters, influences their actions, and adds depth to the narrative. The setting can be a character in its own right. A well-crafted setting can transport readers to another world, making them feel like they are part of the story. It invites them to explore, to dream, and to believe in the impossible. The tone of a story introduction is equally important. It acts as the first impression, setting the stage for the entire narrative. It sets the mood and prepares the reader for what's to come, whether it's a journey through a mystical land or a deep dive into a character's psyche. Is it a lighthearted adventure filled with whimsical moments and laughter? Or is it a dark and gritty tale, where danger lurks around every corner and the stakes are high? The author uses language, pacing, and foreshadowing to establish the tone, carefully choosing words that evoke specific emotions. C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia begins with a sense of wonder and childlike innocence, drawing readers into a world of magic and possibility. The story is set during wartime, and the Pevensey children are sent away to the countryside for safety, adding a layer of historical context. This establishes a sense of displacement and uncertainty, which is quickly replaced by awe and excitement when they discover the magical land of Narnia through a wardrobe, a portal to another world. The tone can be subtle or overt, but it's always present, influencing how the reader perceives the unfolding events. It's the invisible hand that guides the reader's emotions, creating anticipation, suspense, or even a sense of dread, depending on the story's direction. A well-defined tone is essential for drawing readers into the story and keeping them engaged, making them feel as if they are part of the journey. Let's revisit Harry Potter. The first book opens with Harry living a miserable life with the Dursleys. They're the worst kind of muggles, treating Harry like an unwelcome guest. This immediately makes us sympathize with Harry. We feel his loneliness and isolation. Then something magical happens. Letters addressed to Harry start arriving. Hundreds of them. This is our first glimpse into the extraordinary world that awaits Harry. It's a world where magic is real, and Harry is destined for something greater. Rowling cleverly uses these early chapters to establish Harry's ordinary world before introducing the extraordinary. This contrast makes the magic all the more impactful. We're just as awestruck as Harry when he discovers his true identity as a wizard.
Know you've been a good friend.
Section 5, Bilbo's Unexpected Journey, a Comfortable Hobbit Hole. The Hobbit begins with a very different tone. We're introduced to Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit who enjoys a comfortable and predictable life. Tolkien spends considerable time describing the Shire and the hobbit's love of food, pipeweed, and gardens. This idyllic setting lulls us into a sense of peace and tranquility. We're lulled into thinking this will be a gentle story about hobbits and their simple lives. But Tolkien has other plans. The arrival of Gandalf and the dwarves disrupts Bilbo's peaceful existence. Their tales of adventure and treasure awaken something within him. This sets the stage for Bilbo's unexpected journey, a journey that will take him far beyond the Shire's borders. Section 6. The Wardrobe. Gateway to Narnia. The Chronicles of Narnia begins with a group of children playing hide-and-seek in a rambling old house. One of them, Lucy, stumbles upon a wardrobe. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she steps inside. What she finds is not the back of the wardrobe, but a snowy forest. This is our introduction to Narnia, a land of talking animals, mythical creatures, and an evil white witch. Lewis masterfully uses the wardrobe as a portal between our world and Narnia. This simple act of stepping through a wardrobe becomes a metaphor for the transformative power of imagination. It reminds us that magic can be found in the most unexpected places if we're only willing to look for it. Section 7. Characters we instantly connect with. A strong introduction also introduces us to the main characters. We learn about their personalities, motivations, and flaws. We start to form connections with them, rooting for them to succeed. Think about Harry Potter. He's an orphan who's been mistreated his entire life. We instantly feel sympathetic towards him. We want him to find happiness and acceptance. Bilbo Baggins is another great example. He's a homebody who's content with his simple life. But there's a part of him that yearns for adventure. We relate to his internal struggle between comfort and the unknown. And then there's Lucy Pevensey. She's curious, imaginative, and brave. She's the first to believe in Narnia and the first to befriend its inhabitants. We admire her sense of wonder and her willingness to embrace the unknown. Section 8. Intrigue and Mystery, Hooks that reel us in. A good introduction also creates intrigue and mystery, drawing the reader into the world of the story. It raises questions in the reader's mind, making them eager to find out what happens next. This sense of curiosity is what keeps the pages turning. This can be achieved through foreshadowing, cliffhangers, or simply by introducing a compelling conflict. Each of these elements adds layers of depth to the narrative. In Harry Potter, the arrival of Hagrid and the revelation of Harry's true identity leave us with countless questions. Who are Harry's parents? What happened to them? Why is he so special? What does it mean to be a wizard? These questions create a web of intrigue that pulls the reader deeper into the story. The Hobbit achieves a similar effect by hinting at the dangers that await Bilbo and the dwarves. The unknown perils make the journey exciting and unpredictable. Gandalf's warnings about goblins, trolls, and a fearsome dragon named Smaug create a sense of foreboding and anticipation. The stakes are high and the risks are real. And in the Chronicles of Narnia, the discovery of Narnia and the threat posed by the White Witch immediately set the stage for an epic battle between good and evil. The magical world is filled with endless possibilities and dangers. Section 9. The Power of the First Line. Never underestimate the power of a strong first line. It's the first impression your story makes on the reader. It can make them want to read on or put the book down. Some famous first lines that immediately grab your attention include, Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. The Hobbit. Once there were 4 children whose names were Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. These lines are simple yet effective. They introduce us to the characters, the setting, or the tone of the story. They pique our curiosity and make us want to read on. Section 10. Crafting your own magical introduction. So, how do you craft a captivating introduction for your own story? Here are a few tips. Start with a bang. Your first line should grab the reader's attention. Introduce your characters. Make us care about them from the start. Establish the setting. Transport us to another world with vivid descriptions. Set the tone. Create the right mood for your story. raise questions, make us want to know what happens next. Remember, your introduction is your chance to make a first impression. Make it count. Section 11. The journey begins, one page at a time. A well-crafted introduction is like a magical portal. It transports readers to another world, immersing them in the story from the very first page. It introduces us to unforgettable characters, breathtaking settings, and compelling conflicts. So, the next time you open a book, pay attention to the introduction. You might be surprised by how quickly it draws you into the story. And if you're a writer, remember the importance of crafting a captivating beginning. Your readers will thank you for it. After all, every epic adventure begins with a single step. In the realm of storytelling, that step is the introduction. Make it count.